morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining today. My name is Jennifer Holmquist, and I am excited to talk to you today about our innovative solution, RoadAI, that is changing the way that public works departments approach their road maintenance practices. To set the agenda, I will introduce RoadAI, and then we'll demo a couple features of our software and how it can help with early intervention maintenance. Afterwards, we will have a live Q&A, so please feel free to put those questions that you have, whether you're thinking of them throughout or at the end, at the Q&A box right at the bottom of the screen. And so at the end, we'll leave for about 10 minutes or so for those questions to be answered. RoadAI provides the most effective, fully automated solutions for planned road maintenance, reactive road maintenance, and for network asset inventory. It is fast and simple to use. All you need is a smartphone and a computer. You mount your smartphone with the RoadAI app in the windshield of your car. You hit record in the app, and then you drive your roads at normal speeds. Once it's connected to a Wi-Fi network back at the office, the data will automatically upload into our RoadAI cloud and will be processed and analyzed so that within hours you will have access to a heat map with road analysis and also the HD video of your entire road network. So here are just some examples of what RoadAI is able to detect. We can detect 26 defects ranging from mild, moderate, and severe ratings. We also detect different fixes on the road where you have patching, where you have different crack sealing. In addition to that, a large asset inventory, not only just traffic signs, but also line markings. Your line marking width, is it up to code? What is the condition of your line markings? Different surface markings, and also other assets such as guardrails, street lights, manholes, and gullies, and so on. So RoadAI's easy and fast data collection allows for agencies to catch defects early. So by using our interactive heat map, which is what we'll demo today with a real account and real data. But with it, you'll be able to identify where your roads are starting to go bad before they fully deteriorate and before they require a more expensive fix. So because you're allowed to get data more frequently and easily, you can catch where these small defects are before they progress and fix them with lower at a lower cost. So that way you can progress and extend the life of the road. Also, we detect all of your assets and we create an inventory. So traffic signs, line and surface markings, and other assets, gullies, guardrails, manholes, and streetlights, just for example. And not only do we detect, as you can see, the location of where they are on the map, but also you can see it categorizes each sign into what type of sign it is, its country code. It provides you the HD video along with the zoomed in shot. And then we have options for you to make a condition rating system. So you can condition rate and make work orders from your desktop environment instead of having to do it out on the network while driving. So those are just some of the features. And today we're going to talk about the heat map, and I'm going to talk about what the road data looks like after collection. So I'm going to go ahead and bring up our user interface here. Perfect. So here is an example of a customer that we have. And this is what, right after you go and collect your data and you take your phone out of the car, you bring it into the office and it connects to your Wi-Fi network. You don't need to plug it into a computer. You don't need to plug it in for a manual upload. It's going to start automatically transferring those video files and those sensor files from your phone into the cloud and then onto the desktop environment, as you see here. So it usually just takes a couple hours versus having to wait weeks and months to get this data. Once everything is processed, this is what your heat map is going to look like. So you can see the heat map is where you have recorded data on your network. And the heat map is based off your pavement condition score. So your PCI score that is calculated from the different defects that are analyzed from the video. That ranges from 0 to 100% here. You see there's gray lines as well. That's because this is your entire road network geometry that you would provide to us in your shapefile. What this allows our data to do is, instead of it being snapped to a GPS grid, it's going to snap directly to your shapefile, and that allows for more customization when you're making reports. For example, if you go over here to filters, and you go to road network filters, you can use your shapefile within our software to really drill down on certain type of streets that you're focused on. So if you wanted to just look at what is the condition of my county roads, for example, if you're not responsible for your state roads, in your road network filters, you can go ahead and select just your county roads. And here is where your county roads are going to appear. And it eliminates all of your other state or local roads. Or let's say you did want to see your state roads. Now it's only going to show your state roads. So again, helps you kind of really drill down on specific areas that you're wanting to find where defects are or that you're needing to pay attention to. Also, often we have clients who are wanting to see what the overall PCI or pavement condition are for certain communities. So here for this client, they've built in shapefile categories for their different communities here. And as you can see popping up, it's going to make sure it's only showing those communities so you can focus on that. And then you are able to pull reports with this raw data, Excel, CSV, GeoJSON, and shapefiles. And depending on what you filter here, it will only bring the road data for that. So looking at this again, this is really great because it gives you a great bird's eye view of your road network in a flash, where your worst roads are, where is it red, and where are the areas that are needing attention. And so now what you can do is you can see where in your heat map it's looking bad, and you can go ahead and you can zoom in to these areas. And you can have access to the HD video as well. So what you need to do is you go ahead and you click on any area that you're wanting to see the specific video data for an analysis. And right up here, it will bring up the videos that were taken and with the date and the time. And then you go ahead and select it, and then your video will upload here. So I have one pulled up here, for example. And as you can see, this is for, in this area of the network, when you select and bring up the video, an orange arrow is going to appear, and that's going to be the direction that the car is driving in. So you know which way you're seeing, and it will start moving along as you hit play. So we'll go ahead and hit play here. And you can see this is what your video data looks like. So you can see, again, you have your HD video here. You can change the speed to be faster or slower as well. For example, we have a client who puts them on street sweepers. So when they're watching this, they do increase the speed by 2. And then you can also pause and change to go back or forward a certain amount of frames to look at certain areas. And in the left here, not only does it have the longitude and latitude, but it's also going to have what street you're on. Again, this is based on the shapefile that you provide us. So that way you can, again, know exactly where you are in your network. And as you see, as we're playing here, we have the car moving down, so you know exactly where you are. Now, the most important thing about RoadAI is we're not just providing you a heat map of where's your bad roads and what's your pavement condition, but we're going to give you the granular detail of what defects are exactly being picked up that are giving you this PCI score. And so the way that you're going to see that here is by collecting this data graph here. And so with this, you can see the pavement condition score changing in real time. So as it's going, you can see the pavement condition scores here, our pavement condition class, in which we have 1 through 5. And then also it will let you know if it tracks any certain categories of defects, such as potholes, structural and surface defects, fixes, and then types of cracking. But not only is it going to tell you if these are present, we are going to make sure that what % of each is present. So you can go ahead and pause even on certain areas if you want, and see what is happening in this area. So you can see that there is a bit of moderate transverse cracking being picked up. There's a bit of moderate longitudinal cracking. And again, we can hit play and see it, keep it going. So again, we're able to track your alligator cracking, your minor to severe cracking, wheel track cracking, moderate to severe transverse cracking, all your different levels of potholes, which are really important, edge deterioration, raveling and bleeding, and then settlement or subsidence. But we also are able to detect where your fixes are. It's important to know what roads have you already fixed and patched, what are going to need a bit more. So here you have your sealing that we do pick up along with patching as well. So again, this is really helpful for, again, you to know, it really allows you to zoom in on the certain areas where you see that the PCI is bad. You can bring up the video and see exactly what is being picked up there. So for example, this is another road that has a bit more defects here, where you can see the different defects being picked up. And you can pause at any moment and see in that frame what is being picked up there. So again, here, it looks like there's going to be a lot of wheel track cracking and alligator cracking, also with some minor and moderate longitudinal cracking as well. What's really great also is we do give you access to seeing the computer vision tools. So if you want to see visually where's the image matching and the segmentation that the AI is using, so that's going to be here. And this shows you exactly what is the AI picking up that's giving you these numbers here. So for example, we paused here. It looks like in this area, it is measuring about a 66.92% pavement condition. It's tracking some moderate longitudinal cracking and some moderate transverse cracking. And then again, we're also just giving you the details of how much of it exactly, how much of the width of the road is being covered by each of these defects, mainly moderate transverse cracking and wheel track cracking, but a bit of that longitudinal cracking. And so you can know which ones are more severe and which one need attention fast, because we know that certain defects can cause the deterioration of a road to go down exponentially. And so here, that's where you can see the transverse cracking being picked up here. And then you have your alligator cracking as well. And you can even over here, if you select the wrench, the tools, and come down to computer vision tools, it will show you the color coding of what it is matching it with, what defects. I have another example here of the segmentation, where again, you do not need to have the segmentation on, but I think it's really cool to be able to see exactly what the AI is picking up sometimes when you want to pause. So it looks like here it's picking up some raveling here, some moderate raveling here in the middle, and then also is picking up longitudinal cracking here and alligator cracking. And then you can always turn off your computer vision and go ahead and hit play. And now you have access to your video data. So now with this, because you're able to collect data quickly and often, this allows you to find ways of rating, again, exponentially. Because you know once it hits a certain degradation level, it will cause the road to break down fast. So allow you to find where do you have the most longitudinal cracking, where do you have the most transverse cracking that can be suitable for a crack seal or for a patch. And this early intervention allows you to provide minor rehabilitation before that major rehabilitation is needed. By doing that, you're going to save money. So an example of what this graph or what that can look like in the long term here. So this is shows the life cycle of a road, for example, over 25 years, an asphalt road. Now, as you can see, if we let the road deteriorate naturally over the span of just over 16 years, in which this is the PCI score over here, and it gets below, just about below a 50% PCI score, it will require a full rehabilitation. That would be, for example, $8 in comparison to have you bring its PCI score back to around 100%. And this is what happens for if you can only survey once every few years. Now, if you have the ability to survey your roads more frequently, you're able to catch deteriorating roads at their PCI when it's starting to get to just below 90 or just above 80 here, and make those small, low maintenance cost fixes that don't cost as much. And as you can see, what you'll be doing is you'll preserve the life of the road for a longer period of time. And you'll be saving 75%, because it's $2 versus $8 over the long term. And then you'll have that extra money to be spent to preserve the life of other miles of the road. So that is our concept here, is being able to allow you to collect data often and more frequently, so then you can be reviewing your network more often, because traditionally before, collecting data was only accessible to be done maybe once a year or once every few years. Now, as I mentioned, road network data is not all that we can collect. We also have ability to collect your assets, your traffic signs, and also line markings. So I won't have time to fully show everything that traffic signs can do today, but I would really like to introduce to you, and then I want to leave some time for your questions. So in order to see where your traffic signs are on your network, you would go and select traffic signs in the bottom right corner. And then you can see this is all the traffic signs that are detected on your network from when you were driving. And so it clusters it into bunches where it tells you how many are in each area. And as you zoom in, you can see what traffic signs are specifically in each area, and they show up on the map as you zoom in. And then what you can go ahead and do is you can select on a traffic sign, and it will pull up exactly where it was detected, the image, and then also the category, the country code, and the HD picture which loads. And what's nice about this is, instead of having to drive and slow down at each sign and write down the condition rating, or let's say there's some vegetation hanging over the sign or still some snow on there that could be cause an issue, you can go ahead and do that here from the desktop environment, because you're going to have updated data on your network more frequently now. And you can go ahead and make a tag. You can make a condition rating as well for any actions that need to be made. And with this, you can export reports for any necessary action that needs to be made with your traffic signs. And again, that is going to be the same, where you're able to export reports for your road condition as well. The different reports that you can make. Are going to be an Excel, CSV, shapefile, or GeoJSON. And these can be uploaded if you do have an existing asset management system as well. So really today, we really focused on, what does your heat map look like? What does the data collection information provide you on this dashboard to see what your road network appears as? And then what does that HD video look like? And most importantly, this data graph here that shows you what your scores are as you're going, so you can stop at certain points and see where fixes are needed. And again, catch them before they get too bad and make that intervention. In the future webinars, we'll make sure to talk about what does it look like when you export reports to see what the aggregation of this is to make project planning. Let's talk about more with traffic signs and asset management as well. But I do want to leave time for questions.